How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's NHL DFS Pick Show. I'm your host, TK Nation 47, bringing you guys a breakdown of tonight's six-game NHL slate. We have a couple of high totals here. I had a Friday off of work, so I was able to step aside and get a preview done for you guys to have some premium plays. All right, let's just get into the games. We got a total of 6 here, San Jose and Toronto, a total of 6 with Montreal and Buffalo, and big favorite from Tampa Bay in Colorado facing Dallas. We have a sneaky game. I presume to be the Columbus-Vancouver game. I think you can find some GPP plays there. Columbus very good at home. Big weekend in Columbus. We got the Ohio State-Michigan game going on Saturday, so there is just a lot of good, big energy vibes going on in Columbus. So I love that Blue Jackets team today. All right, let's get into it position by position. Obviously, anytime you have a high total and Austin Matthews is on the slate, you're going to need to have exposure. I think I'm going to have a few lineups with Austin Matthews tonight versus San Jose, a team, although good at home, I think they can let goals in. So I'm going to go ahead and get Austin Matthews, even at his high number, his high salary, into some lineups. You definitely don't want to fade Colorado right now, even on the road in Dallas. Dallas, probably starting Holtby today. Holtby, not a world beater. So I would assume Rantanen, Landeskog, Cal McCarr, all going to be pretty popular plays for Colorado. Kadri, not too far off the list either, starting on that second line. Probably going to avoid playing against Tyler Seguin too. So you're going to have a good spot here with Kadri as well. But my favorite center play at the top tier position is going to be Steven Stamkos for Tampa Bay versus the Seattle Kraken. Seattle traveling all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast time zone. They probably just had their Thanksgiving meals. I think this is just a really bad spot for Seattle. Stamkos is going to be skating on that top line with point out. He's got a pretty decent start to his season as well. If we want to take a look at some of the game logs, last time out versus Philadelphia, scored a goal, 2 assists, and not a high shot on goal value, but this guy's going to get top line power play unit, top line overall, 5-on-5, 10 goals and 12 assists on the year already. He's already racking up good numbers for Steven Stamkos. Going to be skating with the top player, Palat, as well. And Tampa Bay, just a really strong team on the power play. I could see them and Stamkos being a big part of the slate today. Middle tier, I think you have a couple of good options here at center. I don't mind Cirelli, the second line center for Tampa Bay, but my favorite play is going to be Tage Thompson for Buffalo. He's been really their standout center so far this year outside of Dylan Cousins, the young prospect. I know McKinley, my usual partner in crime, will love this pick. You got a nice home matchup, McKinley versus Montreal. I think the Buffalo Sabres could come away victorious today. Shout out to his Bills, made maybe some money on the late game Thanksgiving slate last night. Let's roll with the Sabres and the Jackets today. As you can see, we have, Tage Thompson scored 2 goals versus Columbus recently, scored a goal and an assist versus the Rangers. He's just a big player on their top line with Olofsson and Skinner. And then for my pun play for center, I'm going to go with Alex Newhook. I think this is a different kind of way to get exposure to Colorado. He's their third line center, but he's a young prospect, really good. Had 11 points in 10 games for the AHL. As you can see in his recent games, he's doing pretty good. 7 games since being called up. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists. He had some decent shots on goal as well. You kind of want to see this 4. The shots on goal, you want to see 4 of them, get you a solid 4, but he's getting time on the ice. He's getting points, and he's being a big part of that Colorado little avalanche of goals. All right, moving on to the winger position. You can scroll up here. My favorite play, I think this is an explosion spot for Oliver Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand, 6 goals and 12 assists on the season, a really high shots on goal floor. This guy's probably got the most shots on goal on the season as it comes to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Really strong play. He's only got 1 goal and 2 assists in his last 5, however, but I think today could be a really huge day, and you're going to get a high shots on goal floor, and then you can add some goals and some assists. It really turns into, a very big difference in when it comes to being at the top of the leaderboard when you have a player scoring goals, scoring shots on goal. So Bjorkstrand, big day today. I'm calling it from the Blue Jackets winger. I hope he can lead us to victory. All right, moving on, we have Jake Getzel. Getzel's been on an extremely extremely good points run. He's got 7 points in his 7-point streak, and he scored 6 goals in his last 7 games. He's just been unreal. He's got the high shots on goal. He's everything we want, and he's still priced under 7K. So Getzel, even on the road in New York, the Islanders haven't been a really strong defensive team this year as they were last year. I believe Getzel, and I think he's going to do just fine under that 7K price. I think it's a perfect play. All right, moving on down to the very bottom here. There are some decent, line winger stacks you can go with. Burakovsky with Kadri, Palat with Stamkos. I think those are just the different ways you can be different in lineups outside of some of the premium plays, is stacking up those lines. I like Bari Boulet skating with Stamkos on that top line, but my favorite's going to be Josh Anderson. Yes, Buffalo has been good at times, and they've scored goals. They've been giving up a ton of goals as well. And Josh Anderson, a guy who's very fast skater, very good player on the breakaway. I could see him scoring a goal today. You're kind of relying on that. There's not much of a shots on goal floor. So we're really hoping that the points are going to come into play here for Josh Anderson. So I got to call him a shot. Josh Anderson scores a goal today as a punt play at 3,300 versus the Buffalo Sabres. Sorry, McKinley. It's going to be a shootout. Hopefully you win. But 4 goals and 5 assists on the season already. I think he can add to that tally today. All right, going into the defender position before we talk about my favorite line stack. Top defender, I like Werenski for Columbus. Guy's been unreal. He's been the point man for Columbus this year. 5 goals and 9 assists on the season. Scored in his last game out versus Winnipeg. He's on a huge point streak of 6 games. As you can see, when he gets the shots on goal and the block bonus and the points, he can really rack up some fantasy points. 30 against the Las Vegas Golden Knights recently, and he had 20 versus Arizona. He's been on a tear. He's been a big part of our offense. And with a lot of goals, Werenski is going to be part of it. I don't mind Devon Taves as well at 5,400, but it's kind of risky at that price tag. I like dropping down to Rasmus Dahlin for the Buffalo Sabres today. I love pairing him with Tage and Olofsson and some of those top line Buffalo Sabres. He had a bad matchup versus Boston. No shots on goal, no block shots. But in the game before that with Columbus, where we saw a shootout, he had 4 shots on goal, and he was really big part of the power play. 2 power play assists. Same thing versus New York. Another game that was a shootout. 1 goal, 1 assist, 4 shots on goal. So if goals are expected in a game with the Buffalo Sabres, I think Rasmus is going to be involved. I like that play. And for last but not least, Erik Johnson for Colorado. This is a third-line defenseman, so there's probably no power play time here, but he's still getting 17, 16, 20 minutes of time on the ice. So I really like Rasmus. Erik Johnson. Something popped up on my screen. I really like Erik Johnson in this matchup. He's got a solid floor, 12-2, 12, 11, 19 in his last 5. He's found the flow of that offense. So give me Erik Johnson as the punt play. Goalies we don't figure out until later and closer to the slate when we get more confirmation of who's in goal and who are our best options in our builds. So you can get to the Discord by following us on Twitter at FSI_DFS or on our website, FSIDFS.com. All right, guys, that'll do it for the video. Oh, last but not least, line stack. My favorite line stack, I'm going Columbus 1, Boone Jenner, Bjorkstrand, and Nyquist. That's my top line tonight. GPP, probably. I'd roll Colorado or maybe Tampa Bay in cash. But Columbus, Blue Jackets, it's going to be that top line for my GPP stack. All right, guys, that'll do it. That'll wrap things up for my video. Please like and comment below. And enjoy your day.